four-time Super Bowl champion, Rob Gronkowski, joining us. Rob, I'm in Guam. You're in Guam. How are you?
I'm doing good, Kay. How you doing? I'm not necessarily in Guam this week, though, but I'm kind of in a place similar to Guam.
Okay, you're in a Guam-ish sort of place. Parts unknown for our friend Rob Gronkowski. Rob, what are you up to? First of all, LA Bowl. Let's just start there. What were your takeaways from that? Was it a blast?
Yeah, the LA Bowl was awesome. The coolest part about it was that they let me do some Gronky type things. I sung the national anthem. Let me tell you, it wasn't that pleasant if you were listening to it, but I did a great job with my attitude. I came in and gave it my best effort. I did it for America. I did it for everyone that wanted to see me sing the national anthem. I hit all the words spot on. I didn't forget the national anthem, which was my biggest concern. I actually blacked out like a minute beforehand, and I was starting to sweat and get a little worried. I turned a little purple, but I pulled through once I started. And then on top of it, Boise State, they have a mascot that's a dog, and it races people every single game. And I raced the dog at halftime, and I beat the dog. I was the second person in history to beat the dog. And look at that stride. I'm flying. The dog had no chance, Kay. Whooped it. Ralphie, my son, would be proud of me.
My son. Did you think maybe I should it's a dog. You say you love dogs. You've said it on the show a million times. Did you think maybe I should let the Boise dog win?
No, because everyone was talking garbage to me. All the fans were talking garbage. The band walked by me saying, Blitz is going to whoop your butt. Blitz is going to dominate you. You have no chance. Keep warming up. And I said, all right, we'll see. So I was not letting the dog win. Also, the dog has won basically every single time in his life besides one time because he accidentally tripped up that one time, I've heard. So I was not letting him win. I had to show him what's up, and I gave him a treat after I gave him some steak.
Brooke, why are you talking so fast today? What is happening?
Oh, I'm on set right now. I'm actually doing a commercial shoot. So like I've been going for 3 hours. So like everything's firing on all cylinders right now. So it's like
it's so amazing.
Coffee too. So like it's just like it's a good day. It's a good day, Kay.
It is. You look great. I can't wait to hear more about this commercial or see it on TV when it comes out. I mean, you were like lightning fast, not finishing sentences. I'm here for it. Let's show you something cool that happened. I mean, you're so busy. Did you see Kieft do the Gronk spike after his first catch of the season? Okay, the Bucs upset the Packers, and we got a little nod to Gronk. Did you see this?
I saw the spike. Let me see. Kieft hits it at the end, goes in the play action. It looks a little stiff, but that's okay. He's a fullback who absolutely dominates defenders in the hole when he blocks them. Kieft with the Gronk spike, baby. I want to give a shout out to his tight end coach, JVD. John Van Dam. He was the assistant tight end coach when I was there. He's doing a great job with the young group in Tampa Bay with that tight end group. And he even has Kieft, who's a fullback scoring touchdowns now. So shout out to Co. Thank you for representing the Gronk spike.
Gronk, I hate to do this to you. There's a little controversy going on. I've got tweets, I've got texts from producers saying, we got to pull up the tape here. First of all, you're running to who let the dogs out, but let's go back to this Boise dog because is there a false start here? Let's look at the tape.
There was a false start, but there wasn't any referees there, Kay. All right.
False start.
But the thing is that they said go over the loudspeaker, and the person that was holding the dog accidentally let go of the dog like a half second late. So I technically didn't false start. It was the dog that got a bad start. So it looked like I fell.
I feel like you should have had to grab a stick with your mouth also, because otherwise it's not even.
I agree. Now that I look back at it and I beat him so bad, I would have grabbed the stick with my mouth and I would have ran back and I still would have beat him.
I can't wait till next year when it's actually called the Gronk Bowl instead of the LA Bowl, as it should. As we are campaigning, we have to make a change.org petition to make that happen. And congrats on all the success on that. It's been amazing. And it was great to see SoFi lit up and rocking. We have a parlay, okay? Because like back to SoFi here, the Rams. We said it weeks ago here on the show. Kyren Williams, are they going to run their way into the playoffs with this running back a la Todd Gurley vibes? And now we're going to build a parlay for Thursday Night Football. It is a same game parlay. And you want to talk about Kyren as your first leg.
Yes, Kyren Williams is an absolute beast. When he's on fire, the Rams are winning. And that's the little secret key to success for the Rams to win. Give the ball to Kyren and let him run. So I'm going with Kyren anytime touchdown.
Anytime touchdown. Okay, I'm going to go Cooper Kupp, 70+ receiving yards. That's just what I think. He's had back-to-back 100-yard games. Nobody's talking about it. They might go to the playoffs and Kupp's getting healthy.
And the next parlay, okay, I'm going to go with the Rams to win. Just straight up win. The Rams will do it. They're on fire. They started slow this season. They got a lot of young players, but they're playing together well now. They're going to beat the Saints. Rams
hosting the Saints. Oof. Saints defense looked real feisty last week, putting an end to the DeVito nonsense. I'm going to go, you know what, I think the Rams do win. And I like this for our parlay. The last leg, I'm going to say Stafford 2+ pass touchdowns, because he's thrown multiple touchdowns in not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 straight games. So to hash this, let's take a look. Kyron, anytime touchdown. Kupp, 70+ receiving yards. Rams to win the whole thing against the Saints with TNF, and Stafford to have 2+ passing touchdowns. It's all going down at SoFi. This game tomorrow night. Right now, guys, all FanDuel customers can join this same game parlay. You can ride with us. You can, of course, build your own, do your thing over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Do not miss out. It's a same game parlay on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. All right. There's something that happened in the Steelers game, my friend, that we have to get to. Pittsburgh defender, DeMonte, was suspended for not for a game, for the rest of the season for this hit on Pittman. Take a look. What do you think?
I mean, a suspension for the rest of the season, I think, is a little bit too much. I don't even think he should have really been suspended at all. I mean, from the angle of it, from the angle that you just showed me, the guy led with his shoulder. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? I mean, the guy's laying out for the catch, and how else are you supposed to attack the opposing guy that's catching the ball as a defender? I mean, I don't know why he's suspended. I mean, Kay, you tell me, did he lead with his head, or is it just that angle that looks like he just led with his shoulder? How else are you supposed to hit the guy?
I don't know. I think that's the question. How else am I supposed to hit the guy? What? And you feel bad for these defensive players like Kazee. Like, what are you supposed to do? And, I'll leave it to you. You're a 4-time Super Bowl champ. And then you have Tom Brady chiming in. He said, in response on Instagram, he said, nobody likes seeing players get hurt, but hard hits happen. And here's what Tom Brady also said. Quarterbacks should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to these type of hits. Do you so does this mean like it's on Gardner Minshew?
I would say that play was a football play. There's no other outcome that could have happened there. The defender made a play on how the defender should have made a play. He led with his shoulder as well. He didn't lead with his head. That was the only area he could hit the guy, the way that he was coming downfield. It was the wide receiver who laid his body out on the line like that. And on top of it, Gardner Minshew did throw a bad ball. It should have never been all the way out there like that, where the wide receiver had to jump out and make a diving catch. So Tom is right, and I would never argue with Tom on these situations, because Tom is the best quarterback of all times, and Tom is the best quarterback of all times for a reason, because the game is slow to him. He sees everything that goes on. He sees why defenders get laid out. He sees why the defender or whatever is making the tackle, why he should be making the tackle like that. So I never argue with Tom, because the game is slow to him. He's been around it for so long. He can read a defense like no other. He can see the plays go down, the tackles be made. So I'm not going to go against Tom. I kind of agree with him. And that was a football play. There's some hits that, yes, that are dirty, that should be taken out, but that was a clean hit. It was. I mean, what was wrong with it? I mean, what else could the defender have done?
I mean, that's why we have you to answer those questions. You can see Gronk on Fox, of course. We're going to have Devin McCourty pop in here in a second, but I want to get your thoughts before we do on Kadarius Toney. Because LaShawn McCoy was on yesterday, Super Bowl champion, former Chief too, spent lots of time with Andy Reid. And I'm like, why does Andy Reid keep putting him out there in these positions? Or, I understand like trying to have faith in your players to do more, but he's costing this team. He didn't cost them the win, but he has in different games. It's another big drop. Now, as someone who prides themselves on focus and being sure-handed, what do you make of this and this issue that continues to pop up?
Yes. Kadarius Toney is an athletic freak. The guy can run routes like no other. He can return punts. But when you're making costly mistakes like that, in and out, I mean, from beginning of the season to middle of the season, throughout your whole career, it's kind of like you just don't love the game of football. You're just out there because you're just so athletic that you were born with that type of athleticism, but you're not out there to be the best teammate you can be or best football player that you can be, because those mistakes that he's making should have been corrected after the first time. If you love the game of football, you go back to the locker room, you take accountability of it all. You go hit the practice field. You make sure you look that ball in, catch it and tuck it and secure that ball well. And that's what you do if you love football. And then you don't make that mistake again. But when you keep making mistakes like that, you must not be that much into the game and you must not love the game.
Andy keeps trotting him out there. Should Andy bench him?
I truly think so. I mean, that's a mistake right there that has been shown that hasn't been corrected yet throughout the season. And then imagine that happening in a playoff game versus a good team with the game on the line. That could possibly cost them a season. And it has cost them a game this year, a game or two. It could have cost them the game versus the Patriots if they were in it a little bit more, if the Patriots had a better offense, actually, to put it correctly. But just overall, I mean, it's a possibility that he should be benched. I mean, you can't trust in him with catching the ball and it not flying somewhere.
It's really well said. Last one for you, your Cowboys. You pick them to win the Super Bowl. They've looked good at home, like really good. Like the crazy splits, the differences between what they look like on the road and at home are really worrisome, because there's a great chance they're going to have to play on the road in the NFC in the playoffs. They fell to Buffalo over the weekend. Why do you think that happens? Like why is this team struggling on the road from your vantage point?
I mean, from my point, I mean, they are a great team at home. I feel like when everything's, set for them, they can accomplish what they need to accomplish. They can flow on how they want to flow. But when things get a little tough, when they go on the road, it's raining out, the weather isn't so nice. They're playing a tough team on the road. The away crowd, they're super loud, so they can't really huddle how they want to huddle and communicate how they want to communicate. I said this on air the other day at Fox. I don't think that they're mentally prepared, that they're mentally tough enough to go on the road and dig deep enough to overcome the situations that they need to overcome, like a good team, like the weather, like the crowd, and win a game versus a good team on the road.
How much of that is on McCarthy?
I mean, I would say a little bit. It's on the whole organization overall. I mean, with the Patriots, why we, grinded and won out some games is because when the weather was brutal outside, we would still go outside and practice. And Coach Belichick would make it even harder out there during the practice. And he would spray the ball with water so the ball would freeze and become icy. So you would have to overcome that adverse situation of being able to throw the ball still while the ball was cold, icy, wet, all that good stuff, and then be able to catch it as well, even though your hands are frigid cold. We would never go inside the bubble. We'd be practicing outside. There'd be fan noise every single practice as loud as possible. I mean, it comes down to those little things. Coach Belichick got us prepared for any situation where you had to be mentally tough to overcome it. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys prepare like that because they're in Dallas. It's nice weather. They're in a bubble practicing majority of the time as well. So when those situations come, that they lose those type of games because they're not ready. And it happened a couple of years ago in New England. I said it on air before. They lost to a Patriots team before up in New England. Actually, they might have. I'm getting confused with the games. They might have won one of them in overtime, but I think they've also lost one of them a couple of years ago in New England because they should have never lost a game, but it was because the Patriots were more mentally tough in the weather conditions.
And that's how to beat it. You prepare for it like Belichick did. Though Belichick also loses a lot in his career with the Patriots in Miami. And that's where the Dolphins are welcoming those Cowboys to town. So won't be rainy or weird conditions. I just looked at it. It's beautiful in 70s. You know that Florida weather is, but we'll see if the Cowboys can fix some of that on the road. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right here. Do it now for the latest from Up and Adams.